hot smoke some Spanish mackerel. I've got some mackerel that I shot last autumn. It's about 3 months old. It's been in the cryovac, the vacuum seal, so it's beautiful. This is just boneless fillet with the skin on. I'm going to cut this into steaks. We're going to brine it for 1 hour in a ratio of 6 to 1, 6 water to 1 salt. So it'll be 3 cups of water and half a cup of salt. I just use cooking salt. And all right, let's get stuck into it. All right, so we're going to make our 6 to 1 ratio of things. So I just put in about half a cup of salt. You can see there. About 3 cups of water. You don't have to get it absolutely right. I just do it by sight these days, but 6 to 1 is the ratio that works well. And we're only going to brine this mackerel for 1 hour, otherwise it'll get too salty. So nothing else, no sugar, nothing else in the brine, just salt and water. Get that all mixed in so the salt's all dissolved. It takes a little bit to get it all dissolved when you've got that stronger brine. All right, while that's settling down, get into our mackerel. It's best if you do this while it's still semi-frozen. It cuts a lot easier. All right, I'm just going to trim any red bits off, which the dog is going to take care of for me. Stella, there you go. Beautiful. Okay, just a little bit of dodgy stuff here. Here we are. Stella, come here. Good girl. Up again. Come on. Come on. Mommy. Very good. All right. Now the size we want for these is about 20 mils. So I'll cut a couple off and show you. It's got to be wide enough so that the Spanish will sit upright in the smoke and not fall over. Not too wide so that it'll cook evenly through. So here we have a medallion. Skin stays on because that's going to protect the Spanish when it's smoking. All right, so we'll cut a few more off. Try to get them reasonably even. This is probably about 2 kilos of Spanish mackerel I'm doing here, which is a nice run through for the smoker. So we'll have some hot smoked stuff ready to eat straight out of the smoker. And then we can also make some other great dishes like smoked fish pie with leftovers. Alrighty, so get all of that, make sure all that salt's mixed in. You just need to make enough brine to just cover the Spanish mackerel. It doesn't need to be any excess. So we'll put our pieces in. Right, so I'm going to put this back in the fridge and it'll sit there for an hour. So what's the time now? 12:30. So 1:30 we'll be pulling this out, patting it dry, putting on a tiny bit of brown sugar, and then we'll be ready to go in the hot smoker. Alright, now we're going to get the smoker set up. So here we have the smoker with no sawdust and the little butane burner. This is my beautiful sawdust from the mill where I get my firewood. So just grab a nice big handful of that. And into the smoker we go. Spread that out a little bit where the flame's going to get to it. Grab the rack. This keeps the fish off the sawdust. And there we are. We're all ready to smoke. As soon as our fish is finished brining, we'll get it on and give it 20 minutes in the smoker. Alright, so now all we're going to do is tip off our brine, pat dry the pieces and put a little bit of brown sugar on, and they'll be ready to go in the smoker. You don't have to get every last little bit of moisture off them, but you want them reasonably dry. So the sugar will stick to them. With the sugar, it's less is more with this recipe. You don't want to taste sweet. It's just got to give it a little bit of background and make it go a nice, beautiful golden colour. So we'll just pat these all off. You can already see the texture of the fish has just firmed up a bit. The brining has pulled a bit of excess moisture out of the fish. And what that does is when you cook it, gives it a real buttery sort of flavour as the oil of the Spanish mackerel comes through, and it gives a nice texture all the way through the fish. So if you've had smoked fish that's been a bit sloppy in the inside and nice on the outside, it's probably because it hasn't been brined. People have just put salt and sugar and what have you on the outside of it. So for this, about 2 kilos of Spanish mackerel, I'm going to do, I just do it by eye, but sprinkle a bit over it. So really that is enough. So 1 soup spoon, you can see how much. Now I just simply rub it on over the fish, get it nice and even. It's getting there. And that's what you want. I see some people put a lot of sugar on their fish, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I really want the fish to come through the flavour, not make it very sweet. Alrighty. So that's it. Now all we're going to do is pop it in the smoker. We're ready to go. Alright, now all we're going to do is put our pieces in the smoker. Skin side down. Just maneuver them so they don't fall over. Spread them out nice and even. If you've got any thicker pieces, put them in the middle. And any pieces that are a little bit thinner, put them towards the outside. Keep the heat going in nice and evenly. This smoker I made myself out of a laundry sink. You can just use a normal kitchen sink. All you need to do is just cut out a bit of the washboard and tack screw it over the plug hole. And just use a barbecue lid. So you can get these things from the local council cleanups, or our council tip has got lots of sinks there. You can just grab one for nothing. So I've made another video on my channel that you can have a look at if you want to see how to make your own smoker. It's very simple. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It's fantastic for doing lots of different things. I'm doing fish today, but I do make my own chipotle sauce by smoking jalapenos. I do a lot of pork with barbecue rub on it, then smoke it just for about 20 minutes again, and then slow cook it in the oven. So it's really, really versatile, the smoker. A very handy thing to have. Alright, I'll give you a look and show you what it all looks like. So there's the fish, all sitting skin side down, ready to go. Now just light it up and put the lid on, and we'll give it about 18 to 20 minutes. If it's windy, give it about 20 minutes. If it's very still, give it about 18. Well, the smoke has been on for a few minutes now, and you can see the smoke starting to come out from the edge of it. It's just a simple barbecue lid. It doesn't seal completely tightly, which you don't want. So, give it the rest of the time. Well, the smoke has been on for about 18-19 minutes now, so we're going to turn it off. And we're just going to let it sit there with the lid on for about 7 or 8 minutes. And it'll keep cooking, and the smoke inside will condense onto the fish. It's very important that you don't take the lid off until you've given it time for that to happen, because it'll make a huge difference to how the fish comes out. Alright, we've let the smoker sit turned off with the lid on for about 8 minutes now. And we'll just take it off gently. You'll see there's a lot of condensation on the lid. We want to try to avoid pouring that over the fish. And let's see the result. Magnificent. Look at the colour of that. Fantastic. So that's perfectly cooked. And take it off and put it on the plate. Lovely, healthy smoked mackerel. And there's a whole lot of different dishes that we can cook with this mackerel. We can eat it straight away like this, which is just beautiful. You can make smoked fish pie, smoked fish pasties, lots and lots of things. And of course, first up we're going to taste it. Nice beautiful flaky white meat, perfectly cooked. Just the right amount of salt and sugar.